Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Channel Your Light. Own Your Intuitive. I am recording this again first thing in the morning, and somebody is sending out like a distress call or an SOS. So I'm going to go here. You're going to know if this message is for you, but I want to utilize this as an opportunity to actually spread out, or how do I want to say that, Spirit? They're saying spreading out the comprehension of how our energy affects each other in the quantum field. So, whoever this is, you are either feeling like you're not going to make it through, is the words coming out. This is an SOS that you are sending out. I'm hearing that song, sending out an SOS. But this is, I feel your heart chakra really intensely lost. You don't know where to go. You feel like your compass is spinning. You feel like your mind is spinning. You feel like your emotions are spinning. You can't find your grounding or your footing. So I just want to lean into this and let you know that yes, we do hear your SOSs. We do hear your calls just as much as we hear your celebrations. When you liberate yourself from something and you feel absolute total freedom and joy, those energies, those frequencies that you embody actually go out through the quantum field to the entire collective and beyond. I'm hearing something about a cosmic politician is stepping forwards, and this is not related to the earth plane politicians or the third dimensional limited view. So please do not confuse the two. Um, there's just something about somebody is sending out an SOS, is unable to, I don't want to say find their footing, but it's unable to find common ground or find their ground, or are being hit with so much emotions. I feel like this is mixing actually two different energies. I feel like this is both a collective kind of a tapestry of smattering of what's going on right now, but I also feel like it's directly related to somebody's internal experience. So notice that your internal conflict creates conflict in your external world because internally you have the conflict. So that's one thing. The other thing is, notice that when you send out an SOS and your mind and your body and your emotions, you're completely in coherence of, I surrender, I need help, that signal becomes so strong, the electromagnetic field of it. I'm seeing it like radio waves. It just gets broadcast out to the rest of us. Now, not everybody's going to hear your broadcast, right? That's also something to be aware of too, but there are those who will catch it, who will hear it, and who will be sent to guide you, is what I'm hearing. And, I'm an intuitive guide. So, ha ha ha, spirit, irony on that. Got it. They're saying that in order to guide somebody in an SOS, the SOS must understand that they must be in complete surrender of the process right now. To move with the logic at this time is not only will it not right your compass, but your compass can't be righted until the logic is removed that is standing in the way of the progression of your soul's evolution and ascension. So I often describe ascension as, we open up, we ascend into the ability to perceive different dimensions, different concepts. We get to see the higher perspective. We get to find healing. We're opening up to our guides, the angelical realms, all the different beautiful, wonderful spiritual areas of bliss, enlightenment, joy, however you want to call it, because enlightenment is the light is within. That's where you find it. And everybody's journey to it is different. And everybody's always coming to it, right? To have a moment of complete enlightenment would mean you no longer need to be here if you were to continue that for your whole journey. And they're saying there's levels of an enlightenment, right? Because it's about the light within. On the journey, they're showing me the steps of ascension. That's so interesting. This comes through in a lot of channels and different private sessions and group sessions. But I've been seeing a lot of people's stairways over the last 3 to 4 weeks, I want to say. and everybody's stairways look a little bit different. Some people are three steps from the door. Some people are at the door but hesitating. Some people are way down below on the platform before they're gathering strength. I'm hearing they're gathering strength to be able to walk up the last flight of stairs into their portal. Like everybody's at a different place, and no place is wrong, and no two places, what's that word? You have a drink here. There's a specific word, compared. Nothing compares to you. Nothing compares to you. Nothing compares to your journey. Are there those who are on parallel journeys? Absolutely. Are there different people at different rest stops on the staircase to heaven? That's a message for somebody on here, staircase to heaven. There are many stops and plateaus and platforms and rest places on the journey up the mountain of you, on the stairway to heaven, on the process of ascension. On those plateaus, those rest places, those places of in between where you've completed one phase of your journey and you're just gathering strength, resting, discarding the residue from that phase of the journey to prepare yourself to move to the rest of it. You're going to find people who are there to help you. You're going to find people who understand. And yes, for some of you, it might only be one person, but good Lord, that person is showing up to let you know that you can keep going. I'm hearing the song, Don't Give Up. Don't give up. Don't give up. If you are climbing the mountain and you are on the verge of giving up, feel like you can't do it, feel like your compass is spinning, you are on the verge of one of the most epic internal breakthroughs that breaks through a shadow and more light shines from you. There will be absolute clarity for that piece of your journey. My daughter Ava says, go back to enlightenment, a word that is often misused, misunderstood, and is viewed as something that is better than. She says, we use enlightenment as a form of hierarchy on the earth plane, much like we do when we go to school, and the hierarchy of people, much like we utilize for money, the status of people, a hierarchy. The more money you have, the better you are. Those kinds of ideas, or the more connected you are, the more powerful that means that you are. There's all these ideas of hierarchy that was woven into the process of ascension, and that is being dismantled. The enlightenment is about the light within, and it's a journey. We're always coming to a new light within us. Every time we move through an area of ourselves, or we open a door to a closet where we've put a part of ourselves into the shadow, we're naturally illuminating more light there. And because we're illuminating more light there, when we first open the door and see the shadow, it doesn't feel good. It's confusing when we switch our root chakra from one way of being and one way of thinking and one way of perceiving who we are. It's natural for your compass to begin spinning, for the ground to feel shaky or like it's breaking apart, to have wild emotions, crazy thought forms, like somebody's all up in their head. And this is the blood moon in Virgo, total lunar eclipse. This is huge energy. You're eclipsing that version of you that had a fragmentation of you in a shadow. This means there needs to be time to integrate. You got to sit on the rest plateau. You got to allow yourself to move through the complete purging, cleansing, and purification of all those old ways of being. For example, let's just use connecting with divine, connecting with spirit, mediumship, psychic development, channeling, all of these things. This is such a great example. If I'm have a version of me, and I've been this, friend, so I'm coming to this from a place of experience and a long journey to come to all these understandings and why I teach what I teach. So if I look at connecting, and I'm always saying there's a version of me that doesn't believe in the divine, it doesn't believe that I have spiritual gifts, I don't believe that it's really them. Like, is that, can I get a signier sign? Is that really the truth? There's an influx of doubt. That's because the truth is not, correction, they're saying that's because your perception and your mind is not aligned with the truth. When your beliefs are in malalignment or in discord with a truth, it naturally creates constriction, suffering, confusion, all of those different things. So when we have a loss of a sense of being in terms of connecting, let's say I'm finally realizing that it's all true and what the truth is, I'm finally really leaning into my gifts and opening the door and allowing myself to shift and change with the energy to open to these new skills and gifts. The version of me that has all the doubt begins to crumble. My root of who I am begins to shift and change into a core command truth of a universal truth that I am divinity and divinity is me. I can't not be connected to the spiritual realms because I am spirit who is holding this body here so I can have a physical experience. You know, the old sayings, we're spiritual beings having human experiences. The idea that you are not connected to spirit, that you don't have access to your guides, that you don't have all these beautiful gifts, spiritual abilities is actually an illusion. And we have doubt because the mind is not in congruency with the truth of our spirit and our heart. Hence why you have the doubt. So we're right now spinning the compass back to our true north. We are eclipsing the versions of us that were in a state that created suffering, perhaps, created confusion, created heaviness, created disempowerment, it created chains and slaves of enchainment. That's what I'm hearing. Slaves of enchantment. Oh, here we go, spirit. Thank you. We're just coming to it. My daughter Ava says, let it unfold. The slaves of enchantment. This is also pertinent for a Pisces energy, right? We can create bondage through enchantments of others, enchantments of our idea or belief of what we think should be. When that enchantment crumbles and we're faced with this stark truth of what something really is, that rocks your world. When the foundation and the core of who you are gets shifted and changed, it rocks your world. There's nothing in your house of self that is not affected. Some things are only like feel the faint shimmer vibration. It's like an earthquake, right? If the earth of you, the root of you splits open to allow a deeper, more profound truth to emerge from the root of you that's stronger, that's more resilient, that's more tapped in, all the things that were connected to the version of you that doubts, the version of you that doesn't believe it, the mind that says, oh, it's something else, all those things begin to tremor. Think about an earthquake. You don't just feel it at the place that the split happens. You feel the tremor of it wide and far. Spirit is saying this ties into the very beginning of this SOS message, where we were talking about the quantum field and how when you have a clearer signal of an SOS in complete coherence, that is a signal that goes out. It beams out to the rest of us. And those that are able to attune to those subtleties, who have fine-tuned, who are operating on the higher spiritual realms consciously, they will consciously pick up when somebody is calling for help, when somebody needs a meeting point, when somebody needs a crossroad, when somebody needs a guide to show up. We sense all those things. Whether you see that or not is irrelevant. This is simply a confirmation to the person sending out the SOS. You have more teams, more guides, and more angels all surrounding you, but you have to surrender and let go and allow the divine to help you. That's who that SOS message is for. Because you surrendered and sent out your SOS, Aaron got the call, and I'm just coming on here to let you know we got your call. Keep surrendering, keep leaning in, keep trusting the unfolding, keep trusting the process. No, it's not going to make logical sense. Yes, your heart might bring up old things. Yes, you might have old memories, but the root of you is changing. And this current cosmic alignment, astrologically, astrophysically for an astrophysicist, geophysiologically, all of these things scientifically are actually aligning, and we're being shown this energetically. The greater macro cosmic shifts are shifting us right now. You don't need to hang on. You need to lean in. Lean into your internal landscape. Go within. And my daughter Ava says we want to circle this back to the Enlightenment. When we go within and we break apart these old paradigms, these old limitations, these shadows that we haven't looked at, when those begin to break apart and the earth of you splits at the very root core of it, this means you get to emerge with a greater expansiveness of light. We are creating sacred space within you for you to embody more light frequencies, more truth, more authenticity, more awareness, conscious awareness of who you are, where you're going, what you truly want, and all of those different aspects. Enlightenment is a process. It is not always a one and done. And yet she's nodding her head. There are souls, as I'm about to say this, there are souls who have these sudden moments of complete and total enlightenment of all that is. This is not taking away from that or saying that is incorrect. That is correct for those journeys. But for those of you, which is a great percentage, who struggle and strive for this idea of enlightenment as if that makes you worthy to obtain it or retrieve it, you have forgotten that you are the light. And to be enlightened is to go within, to expand your being and consciousness, to reveal more light from within you. It's in light. Enlightenment, it's contained within you. Enlightenment is a process, and you are to celebrate every layer, every step, every process, every lotus petal that unfolds. It may not be a total enlightenment that you perceive as the ultimate goal, but guess what? The ultimate goal doesn't happen without each of the individual petals being unfolded. So whoever this SOS message is for, you're being really hard on yourself, and you're not recognizing the beauty of the petals that you've already unfurled. You're not recognizing that you have already gone through the process of enlightenment, which is just revealing the light inside of you. It's like that famous quote, we're not afraid of our darkness, we're afraid of our light, right? We're used to the darkness, friends. We're used to the shadow. We're used to the fear. It's been normalized. We're used to being in limits. We are used to normalizing putting our own selves in chains and holding ourselves back. To move through the different process of enlightenment, we're lighting up and illuminating that shadow, shining a light on it, which means the shadow dissolves, the energy of it gets harnessed, and we now have more space within it. That is a point of enlightenment, to perceive it from this perspective. I'm being told we need to break down the hierarchies, because some of the hierarchies that have bled through from a traditional structural 3D man-made construct of value, worth, and levels and statuses actually bled through into many spiritual concepts. And this is not to judge or shame or say it's incorrect, because we do require different levels in order to maintain some type of a stability within the process of ascension. However, we are coming to a time frame and a time point where it no longer serves a purpose for a number of souls in the collective, specific soul pods, to maintain that perception of a hierarchy as a way of determining someone's value, someone's intelligence, someone's journey, or even the process of enlightenment. Each of you is a different form and expression of enlightenment of the collective consciousness. Therefore, your enlightenment will be different than another person's enlightenment. Some people are not here to come to the enlightenment of everything there ever was and fathom all the cosmos and all the 64 dimensions. That is not their purpose and not their role. Most people are here for a process of enlightenment into their own being, because it's enlightenment. They're just showing me that somebody here needs to receive this message, because you're perceiving this hierarchy as a negative perception of yourself. But we're flipping this. And we need to break down the construct. If you attune to that hierarchy and it makes sense for you, you keep going with it, my friends. I'm not here to tell you it's wrong. This message is for the person in the SOS who feels like they're failing, feels like they're falling, feels like they're coming apart at the seams, like don't know where they're going. You're in the liminal space in between. You are both unbecoming and becoming at the same time. It is a lot right now. Have compassion for yourself. Recognize the petals of the lotus you've already unfolded. Find and search. Find and searchlight. They're saying find and searchlight. We're asking you to find the light within you in all ways, shapes, and forms right now. No one can do it for you. Yes, others as mirrors and guides will shine a spotlight to help you through that guiding process, but we are not always going to give you an exact answer. That would take away from your process of your empowerment and your enlightenment within. Guides are intended to help guide you through your process for the ultimate fulfillment fulfillment of your own personal power, not to do it for you. So I don't know who that message is for, but that's really how I attune to, or how I perceive, and how I, as many times as possible, try to operate as a guide, recognizing that it's not to give people answers, it's to help you to guide you into your own answers, because that's where you find your greatest empowerment. And right now, whoever this SOS message is for, do not give up. You are going to be just fine. You are right exactly where you need to be. This too shall pass. And you are being provided moments right now of creating sacred space within you. You are creating space for more light. This means, in order to create space for more light, those shadows must be illuminated. They must come up and out of you. They must be brought to your conscious awareness so that they can be discarded, dissolved, and let go of. It's a total lunar eclipse, friends. Some of you are eclipsing all the fragmentations of your soul through multiple incarnations all at once. This is big. Have compassion for yourself. Just don't judge yourself during this process. This is huge. Like, when I say this is huge, I'm just skimming the surface of the depth and the breadth of what is happening cosmically on the earth plane, in each individual, in the collective, and in the collective group things. I am scratching the surface of the depth and the breadth of what is happening. I don't think the mind could logically comprehend all the minute details of minutia, all the minutia, that's what's coming in, all the minutia, the little itty bitty details that go into making the macro. Think about how many things have to go just exactly as they need to be, that go unseen, in order for us to see one thing to come into being. That's a whole other channel and a whole other teaching. But whoever this SOS message is for, you're doing fine, my friend. You are okay. You are going to be okay. You are going to find your way, and get prepared, because this lunar eclipse is going to illuminate a lot of things. Allow the things to fall away from you. Allow there to be this moment of chaos, because it's this moment of chaos is allowing order to come into play. I'm hearing disorderly conduct for somebody on here. So maybe somebody, I feel like that's just a flow through. In total honesty, they were nodding their head at me. Yeah, that's just a flow through from the collective, what's happening right now for a multitude of people, and things being illuminated. So just know that as a collective, we feel and hear and sense each other deeply in the quantum field. And when there are group thinks, they can negatively impact us or positively impact us. And we're coming into a place of empowerment where we recognize our ultimate power is the power to choose, the power to choose what we will allow to come into our sphere and what we will not, what groupthink we will align with, and which ones we don't want to align with. It's the power of choice. And if you don't feel like you have the power of choice, this eclipse is going to eclipse you directly into the recognition, realization, embodiment, understanding, and knowing of your power of choice, so that you can become a self-responsible, conscious individual and start utilizing that power that you have within you. We have crossed a lot of different teachings right now, and a lot of different perceptions, and all of this feels totally in alignment for me. Let me know, friends, in the comments if you needed to hear this message to the person in the SOS, or feeling the confusion, the loss, the emotion, whatever it is. My friends, you're okay. You're okay. Find relief and peace in this message, because you called it in. You asked for it. That is the beautiful co-creative state of this collective, of the sacredness of all of us. And again, just another testament to the fact that we are all one. We are all one in this aspect. We can choose to support each other, raise each other, lift each other up, or we can also misuse our power of choice. And I say that lightly, because sometimes that is part of a soul plan. Misuse the power of choice to take away from others, to step on others, to feel better about ourselves, to take power away from others, because for a brief moment, we may feel like we have power in that moment. But those are illusions. We are breaking the chains of enchantment. We are breaking the spells, the curses, the hacks of the mind, of the body, of the emotions, of the illusions that have been cast over us for far too long, friends. Allow this to be eclipsed in this total eclipse of the heart. It's an eclipse of the heart and the mind coming into divine alignment. So I will leave it at that, beautiful souls. If you wish to connect with me, please feel free to find me on my website. Again, I will reiterate this. I want you to be cautious and careful of anybody in the comments pretending to be me or asking you to book sessions or anything like that. WhatsApp, that is not me. I do not have WhatsApp accounts. I will not ask you to book a reading with me. I will only ever invite you to go directly to my website and book one of your own choosing, because that's your power and you will know if it's time to book a session with me. So be mindful of people in the comments and people asking you for money, people asking you to connect with them or saying that they have messages for you. Those are always red flags, my friends. So just be mindful of that. Use your own discernment for it. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me on my website. And of course, please let me know in the comments if this resonated for you. Are you the one that needed this SOS? Because I'm trusting that it is going out into the ethers and reaching you. And I'm also here to illuminate the fact that all of your prayers, all of your SOSs, all of your requests, all of your desires, all of your wishes, all of your hurts, all of your worries, all of your doubts, all of that pings out into the ethers, which will lead me into my next channel, which I'm very excited to share because it's been brewing from quite some time in the beautiful muddied waters of the ocean of the divine. So I will leave that with you and sending you all much love. Happy lunar eclipse. Happy full blood moon in Virgo, beautiful souls. And I will see you on the next video.